Clemson, South Carolina, November 19th, 1995. It's 55 degrees, the air is dry enough to feel honest, and the wind is just strong enough to make every punt look like it has an opinion. And on this day, the Carolina Panthers do something that still doesn't feel real, even 3 decades later. They hold an NFL offense to 96 total yards. Not 96 passing yards, not 96 yards in one half. 96 total. And the thing is, the score doesn't fully capture it, because this isn't just a win. This is the first year Panthers announcing to the entire league, we're not here for the cute little expansion story. We're here to take your lunch money. And the lens for the story is the quarterback. Because if you're going to build a franchise, quarterback is the bet you live or die with. Kerry Collins. The week before this game, Carolina is coming off a hard, ugly loss in St. Louis, 28-17 to the Rams. Kerry Collins throws 4 interceptions in that one. Not a couple of lucky tips, 4. So the mood coming into week 12 is pretty simple. Are we real? Or did we just have a cute little hot streak that got corrected? Because the Panthers are sitting at 4-6. And that record hides the truth. This team is already living in historical territory. They've already blown past what expansion teams are supposed to be. And now, they draw Arizona. Arizona comes in at 3-8, coached by Buddy Ryan, a defensive personality so strong you can basically hear him through the TV, even when he's not talking. Carolina's pitch to itself is straightforward. Protect the rookie quarterback, run the ball, let the defense hunt. And what makes this game strange, what makes it perfect documentary material, is that the Panthers don't just win. They win while putting on one of the most complete, lopsided, possession and pressure performances you'll ever see. Kerry Collins is the Panthers' first ever draft selection. The first true, this is who we're betting on, moment in franchise history. He is 6'5", 247 pounds, out of Penn State. And the backstory matters because the Panthers didn't just stumble into him. They maneuvered into him. They had the first pick, traded it, and still landed Collins at 5. A franchise origin story that sounds like folklore now. His rookie season is exactly what you'd expect from a talented rookie on a first-year team. Flashes, mistakes, and moments where you can see the future trying to break through. He'll make the PFWA All-Rookie team, then go on to play 17 seasons in the league. But on this day, November 19th, the story is simpler. This is the most efficient day he's had in weeks. And Carolina is going to give him a game that feels like a warm blanket. The Panthers are chasing legitimacy. Arizona is chasing oxygen. And already, you can feel the line between confidence and delusion. That expansion team tightrope. Tom Capers will later describe the entire situation like walking a tightrope. Look too far ahead, you'll get dizzy and you'll fall off. The Panthers are trying not to fall off, and Arizona's trying not to get pushed. The game begins with a theme that never changes. Carolina hits, Arizona absorbs. Early on, Carolina's feeling its way forward. Completions, short runs, the usual rookie quarterback diet. Then the game gives us the first real tell. 10-1 in the first quarter, Dave Craig fumbles. It's recovered, and it's the moment you realize Arizona's playing with live ammunition. Not because Craig is terrible, because Carolina is fast, because Carolina is around the ball. And then comes the play that defines the tone. 5:13 in the first, Garrison Hurst fumbles, forced by Tyrone Poole. Recovered by Carolina. The Panthers are turning the Cardinals' possessions into coin flips, and they keep landing heads. Scoreless after 1, but it doesn't feel like a tie game. It feels like Carolina is squeezing the air out of the room. Now the Panthers start turning pressure into points. Early in the second quarter, Collins engineers a drive that looks like a quarterback learning what the league will give him. And then, Kerry Collins to Pete Metzelar's. Touchdown. 7 yards. Simple. Professional. Carolina goes up 7-0. And almost immediately, the defense feeds him again. 13-31. Rob Morse targeted, and Tyrone Poole picks it off. That is not just a turnover. That's a cornerback ending a sentence for the quarterback. Short field, and Collins finishes it. Touchdown to Bob Christian, 2 yards. Now it's 14-0. Arizona's offense, at halftime, had produced 1 first down, 45 total yards. And the fact that they're still alive at all is because their defense and special teams are basically refusing to let the game end. Because the one crack in Carolina's control is the weirdest kind. A blocked field goal, return touchdown, 72 yards by Aeneas Williams. A defensive star doing special teams violence. Suddenly it's 14-7, and that's the only reason the score looks anything normal. And right before halftime, Carolina has a chance to reassert control, and misses. Casey tries a 37-yard field goal, and it doesn't go. That matters, because it keeps Arizona breathing. 37 yards is the kind of kick that's supposed to be automatic, which is a word NFL kickers hear right before reality files a complaint. This is where Carolina stops flirting with control and just takes it. They don't score touchdowns in the third quarter. They score something more demoralizing. They score field goals, 2 of them. A 42-yarder, a 30-yarder. And in between those points, the defense is doing the thing that makes an opposing offense start making business decisions. They're getting home. Sacks, pressures, illegal contacts, and false starts, and desperation. Arizona can't run. Rushing yards total, 34. They can't throw. 62 net passing yards. And they can't breathe. By the time the third quarter ends, it's 20-7. And it feels larger than 13 points. It feels like Arizona's trying to climb a staircase that keeps adding steps. Arizona opens the fourth quarter needing something dramatic. Instead, they get another reminder. Carolina's front is going to live in the backfield today. Then, Carolina puts the game away with a drive that's the exact opposite of rookie chaos. They run the ball. They keep it simple. They convert pressure into inevitability. And at 11:18, Anthony Johnson goes 23 yards for the touchdown. That's 27-7. And now it's over. Not because the clock says so, because Arizona's offense never arrived. Now we do the autopsy, because this is where the episode becomes timeless. Total yards, 370-96. First downs, 23-7. Time possession, 38 minutes to 22 minutes. Rushing, 188-34. That's not a win. That's a takeover. And the weirdest part is the Panthers' special teams are actually the reason this isn't a complete shutout humiliation. Because the blocked field goal return swings the feel of the scoreboard. You can see it, even in the expected points breakdown. Carolina's defense, by EPA, is basically a tidal wave, while special teams is underwater because of that blocked kick. And Collins? This is the kind of rookie performances coaches dream about. 15 of 23, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Not flashy, but clean. The point isn't that he carried them. The point is the team didn't ask him to. After the game, the quotes are basically the same story told in different accents. Sam Mills can't even hide his amazement. He calls the yardage numbers incredible and says there was a lot of pressure being applied out there. Mike Fox, who's living in the engine room of this defense, says the quiet part out loud. Yeah, the playoffs? It's not impossible. Dom Capers, meanwhile, tries to keep the team from getting drunk on its own headlines. He describes the season like a tightrope. Look too far down the road, and you get dizzy, and you fall off. And Buddy Ryan, honest, blunt, says he had high expectations, and they weren't lived up to. That's the emotional truth of this game. Carolina's locker room is learning what it feels like to dominate a professional opponent. Arizona's locker room is learning what it feels like to be erased. The win moves Carolina to 5-6, and more importantly, it gives them a kind of identity you can't fake. They can control a game with defense, possession, and physicality, but the tightrope is still there, because the next week is a division game at New Orleans. And if this Arizona game is the highlight reel of what we can be, the Saints game is going to be the reminder that the league collects payment with interest. So this episode ends with 2 truths. 1, Kerry Collins looks like a franchise quarterback when the game is structured for him. And 2, this Panthers defense, on this day, plays like it already belongs. 96 total yards. That's not luck. That's a statement.